The champ is here. Islam, как себя чувствуешь, брат? Как обстановка?
Как это
Заряжен, да?
I want Islam to win, but it's not going to be that easy.
Khabib Nurmagomedov has officially arrived in the United States to join Islam Makhachev's final training camp, marking the last phase of preparation just 2 weeks before fight night. The return of the Eagle signals peak intensity and focus for Team Makhachev. To begin with, Kamaru Usman recently made headlines after hinting at what could be one of the biggest matchups in UFC history. He stated that a showdown between himself and Islam Makhachev would be monumental, two pound-for-pound elites clashing at their peak. Usman also acknowledged Jack Della Madalena's rapid rise, calling him a serious threat with size, skill, and momentum that can't be ignored.
I think there's no bigger fight to make than myself and Islam Makhachev, correct?
All right.
There's no bigger fight because that's be the first time in history 2 pound for pound are going to compete against each other for everyone's viewing pleasure. So we'll leave it at that. If it happens, it happens. It could be, and that's the thing. Don't count out Jack Della as well. It could happen. Jack Della is just the exponential growth that I've seen from this guy lately. That's a tough one for everybody.
On the other hand, Henry Cejudo wasn't convinced by the idea that Jack Della Maddalena could truly challenge Islam Makhachev. He questioned where exactly JDM could create problems, striking, grappling, or defense, and concluded that Makhachev's overall dominance leaves little room for doubt. In Cejudo's view, Islam remains on another level entirely.
or why he's going to give Islam a good fight. I just don't see it.
Why?
I want you to really elaborate on why JDM is going to give Islam Makhachev, because you say tough fight, so I'm gonna kind of push your buttons a little bit. How? Where is JDM? Where does he fit? Where does he give, or better yet, where does he give Islam a fit? Striking, grappling, submissions, takedown defense, takedowns. I don't see a Kush. I see total dominance from my brother Islam Makhachev.
At the same time, Kamaru expressed his support for Islam Makhachev but acknowledged the challenge ahead. He highlighted that belief and mental toughness are what truly define greatness in this sport. Praising Makhachev's resilience, Usman noted how, even under pressure, his spirit never breaks, and his recent performances show remarkable improvement and composure inside the octagon.
I want Islam to win, but it's not going to be that easy because one thing, and I think it's one of the, if not the most important thing that we need in this game, in this sport, and it is the belief in himself and the courage to just go out there and execute. This dude, I've watched him in a couple of fights. Spirit was never broken. It was bendy, but it was never broken. And you saw in his last fight when he came out and he looked that much improved, he pieced your boy up.
Now, with Khabib Nurmagomedov back in camp, the atmosphere has once again electrified as he reunites with Islam Makhachev ahead of UFC 322. With fight week fast approaching, the Dagestani camp intensifies its focus, fine-tuning every detail under Khabib's sharp guidance. His arrival marks a crucial boost in preparation and morale for the reigning lightweight champion's final push.
The champ is here. Islam, как себя чувствуешь, брат? Как обстановка? Заряжен, да?
Elsewhere, Sean Brady kept it short but confident when asked for his prediction on the upcoming clash between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena. Without hesitation, Brady picked JDM to come out on top, signaling his belief in the Australian's striking power and momentum heading into the bout.
Hey, I'm not going to keep you that much longer. I'm going to get your prediction on Islam versus JDM real quick. Who do you think wins? JDM.
Meanwhile, Bilal Muhammad shared confidence in Islam Makhachev's ability to dominate on the mat, suggesting a potential finish if the fight hits the ground. He pointed out that Dagestani grappling is on another level, and facing it for the first time can be overwhelming. According to Bilal, Jack Della Maddalena still shows key vulnerabilities in his ground game.
I mean, I think my mindset, I think Islam can finish him on the ground for sure. And especially it's like we saw it with DDP. If you never felt one of those Dagestani style wrestlers, like you don't want it to be your first time in the cage feeling it.
Yeah.
And Islam and them, they have a different feel. They have a different type of grappling. So for JDM, even in our fight, he makes mistakes on the ground.
In contrast, Mario Bautista has thrown his support behind Jack Della Maddalena ahead of UFC 322, expressing belief that the Australian could be the one to finally end the Dagestani dominance. Praising JDM's precision striking and confidence under pressure, Bautista suggested that this matchup presents a real opportunity for a major upset against the seemingly unstoppable Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev versus Jack Maddalena. Who you got, Mario?
I'm gonna go with Jack on that one. Someone has to beat one of those guys.
God, are you taking Jack?
What's
Think
the
he
odds?
takes him out?
My heart says I want to go with Jack, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see how Islam, like, is he gonna be like just bigger and stronger at 170? And it probably cuts a lot to 55. I'm hoping Jack.
Speaking of the Australian, Jack Della Maddalena says he feels better than ever as he prepares for UFC 322, training alongside former champion Alex Volkanovski. Their sessions have pushed JDM to new levels of sharpness and confidence, strengthening both his striking and conditioning as he gears up for the toughest challenge of his career against Islam Makhachev. In the midst of all the excitement, Jorge Masvidal gave high praise to Islam Makhachev, calling him the most dominant ground fighter in the sport today. He emphasized Makhachev's unmatched control, submissions, and ability to inflict damage once the fight hits the mat. Masvidal noted that Islam's performance against Charles Oliveira proved his elite skill and cemented his place as a true nightmare on the canvas.
He's the best guy on the ground, on the mat. Once it hits the mat, now nobody else has better ground control, submissions, just everything. On the ground, he's a real life nightmare. Strikes as well, he does damage. I would easily say Makhachev is the best ground fighter right now, you know?
From the coaching side, Javier Mendez revealed that Islam Makhachev has added significant size ahead of his welterweight debut, weighing in around 191 pounds. The renowned coach praised how well Islam has adapted to the higher division, noting that his strength and conditioning have improved impressively. Mendez believes this added bulk will eliminate any size disadvantage against Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322.
I haven't been with Islam until training camp 3 weeks now, and when he came in, I looked at him. I was thinking we were going to be quite a bit smaller than Jack, but when I saw him, I said, "Oh, you know, Safe, the coach, you know, is put him on a good schedule, good workout schedule. I would see him run with vests, you know, a weight vest and the whole bit, and he's put on the weight really nice. So I think Islam right now is about 191 pounds. You know, he's solid 191. So we're not going to have an issue with the weight, you know, jumping up in weight. He was, let's face it, he was a fairly large lightweight as it was anyways, okay? Now, I don't think he's a small welterweight. I don't think he's a big welterweight. I think he's a average size welterweight at the present time.
Likewise, Merab Dvalishvili shared his thoughts on the upcoming UFC 322 showdown, saying it won't be an easy night for Islam Makhachev, but still believes he has what it takes to capture a second world title. While praising Jack Della Maddalena's striking ability, Merab pointed out Islam's elite wrestling and composure, noting that strategic adjustments could make all the difference in this high-stakes matchup.
Do you think that he gets the job done and wins that title, or do you think JDM retains?
It's gonna be
hard for him, but it's possible to Islam Makhachev wins the second belt. JDM is great fighter, great striker, but Islam is tricky. He has a good wrestling, and he's southpaw. He don't get hits, but he takes people down and he mauls people down. So, and also we all see the JDM Belal Muhammad's fight, and then I'm sure Islam will take lots of lessons from this fight, and maybe Islam will make some adjustment. It's possible. It's gonna be hard, but Islam can win the second belt.
Adding further insight, Dan Hardy weighed in on Islam Makhachev's move to welterweight, praising the timing of the decision. He explained that Islam's body seems ready for the jump and that staying at lightweight any longer could have limited his growth. Hardy, a longtime admirer of Jack Della Maddalena's boxing, still believes Makhachev's all-around skill set and superior grappling will be too much to handle. He predicts Islam could secure the win by submission in the later rounds after a competitive striking exchange early on.
I've been high on JDM for a long time. You know, I remember doing interviews back when Ngannou was crossing over to boxing, and people were talking about who's got the best hands in MMA, and I was saying JDM at the time. I mean, his boxing's always impressed me. But at this point, I feel like Islam's moving up a weight class at the right time. You know, there are a lot of fighters that stay in a weight class for too long, and they seem to kind of stifle their physical growth. I don't think Islam can stay healthy and stay in that lightweight division for any longer, and I think right now he's allowed himself to move into a division where his body's just going to grow into it. He's going to be incredibly powerful. You know, I've been having the similar kind of conversation in my head with Crawford coming up against Canelo as well, you know what I mean? Like, what's Crawford going to look like going up a weight? And I think his body's ready to do it, same as Islam. And I just think Islam's all-round game is so problematic for any single fighter. I see him taking it, and I can see him probably a 50-50 striking exchange, Makhachev winning with a kicking advantage, but then his grappling and his wrestling taking over, probably winning by sub in the championship rounds.
In a similar tone, Colby Covington shared his thoughts on the Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena matchup, calling it an intriguing clash of styles. He acknowledged that Islam will be the smaller man moving up from lightweight, but praised his well-rounded skills and control on the ground. Covington noted that if Makhachev secures takedowns, he could dominate, though JDM's striking remains a real threat. While the odds favor Islam heavily, Colby admitted anything can happen when two high-level fighters step into the octagon.
Interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. You know, Islam, you know, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, you know, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, you know, he could definitely get the job done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the size advantage plays a difference in the fight.
Who do you favor?
I mean, I seen the odds were pretty big. They favored Makhachev like 3-1. So I guess I got to go with the odds if they're going 3-1. But just because JDM doesn't have good takedown defense, but you never know. It's a fight, and JDM has some good hands, so it should be an exciting fight for the fans.
Adding to the anticipation, Jake Gerber shared his excitement for the upcoming UFC 322 main event between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, calling it a true showcase of elite-level skill. He praised the matchup for its technical depth, from grappling exchanges to striking precision, emphasizing that both fighters are entering their absolute prime, setting the stage for an explosive showdown.
UFC 322, Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena. What an amazing fight, man. What an amazing fight. There's certain fights that it just brings out the fight nerd in you. You start watching the tape, you're like, the takedowns, the throws, the trips, the sweeps, the combinations, the striking. That's this kind of fight. That's this kind of fight. You show someone the names Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev, and you show them the poster for UFC 322, they're like, we know what time it is. We know what time it is. We got two guys in their absolute prime.
Finally, Beneil Dariush recently shared an updated take on the Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena matchup, admitting his stance has shifted slightly. While he once leaned toward Makhachev, Dariush now believes JDM's size and endurance could play a major role. He acknowledged that it's a tough fight to predict, but feels Jack's conditioning might give him the edge on fight night.
Islam versus JDM, now only weeks away. Do you still favor Islam in that matchup?
I'm gonna lean now towards JDM.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like the size will make a difference. Cardio-wise, JDM has great cardio. Maybe I'm wrong, but now this is all feel. This is one of the few fights where I can't really give you a clear answer. So I just feel like JDM.
As the countdown to UFC 322 ticks closer, the atmosphere around Team Makhachev feels electric. With Khabib Nurmagomedov back in the corner, the Dagestani camp is running like a well-oiled machine. Every movement, every round, every breath perfectly measured for war. The bond between Islam and Khabib isn't just about technique, it's about legacy. But on the other side stands Jack Della Maddalena, laser-focused and fearless, carrying the pride of Australia and the power to shock the world. This isn't just another fight, it's the collision of dominance and destiny. Will the Dagestani reign continue, or will a new king rise in the welterweight division? Fight week is almost here, and when that cage door closes, only one man's soul will leave unchanged. So what do you think? Can Jack Della Maddalena really stop Islam Makhachev's unstoppable pressure? Or will Khabib's return be the key that unlocks another dominant performance from Islam? What's your prediction? Makhachev by submission, or JDM by knockout? Drop your thoughts below. If you're hyped for UFC 322 and want more exclusive fight breakdowns, camp updates, and behind-the-scenes reactions, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest from the world of MMA.